Wait a minute. Someone's watching my stream. Hey, how's it going? If you have any like art questions or anything like that, you can ask me. Alright, let me lower the volume. Is it better now? And so I was just saying, like, if you have any questions, you can ask me here. I'll try to answer them best I can. Or if you don't want to ask anything, that's fine too. Right now I'm just trying to like get the colors right, but I'm not committed yet, so I'm still experimenting. The drafts. Well, mostly I was just thinking about creating an action scene, and I just thought about the composition. I just used like the basic rule of thirds here. So if you see this, like you can see like focal points are on the top third area here, and then another one here, here, not here, but here. But mostly I want the focal point to be here. So there's gonna be this guy here too, and this guy is basically this shadow version of this guy, but he's made of all entirely flames. That's what the client wanted. So yeah, I use these like models. See, do you see? I kind of take pictures of them to get a better idea of how I want the guys to look. I take a bunch of pictures of stuff like this. This was the first draft, and then this was the second, and this is the final draft. There's a lot of like tweaks going on. It's never like I never have like a 100% finished vision of what I want it to look like in the beginning. I Photoshop first. Thank you. If you want, I can also do paintovers because I'm planning to do that. I'm not for this stream, but maybe later this week I'm gonna host. I'm gonna ask people to like submit their drawings if they want a paintover for it, and I can like look over yours as well if you want, if you ever care about those things. I mean, I was gonna say, if you ever like want like arts tips, I'm planning to do like a paint over session for anyone who wants to submit their artwork, and I'll do it on stream. I'm just trying to like figure out what kind of stuff people are interested in watching. So maybe like something like that would be something like that would be helpful to some people. Something like that would be helpful to some people. Yeah, if you want to, if you're comfortable with that, I think I'm planning to do something like that sometime later this week. So I'll just ask a bunch of people to just submit any of their artwork that they want feedback on, and I'll just do like a like quick paint over it on stream, or draw over whatever. You can submit anything you want, like on Instagram or Twitter. I'll save it and review it on stream. No, you understood me correctly. Yeah, that's fine. Doesn't matter what you draw. Like as long as you have the picture that you want to send, I can do it. Just send me the PNG or JPEG file and yeah, you can send it to me on Instagram or Twitter. Either one is fine. And I'll probably do it on Friday or Saturday. So right now, just this is mostly the blocking stage, the blocking and the general colors of like the armor and the skin and everything. I'm not rendering it, so it looks very rough.
I'm looking for a guy in finance with a trust fund. 6 foot, blue eyes. Hey, Chris, okay? Boo-doo-doo, boo-doo-doo. Fuck. More coffee. Guess who's back? 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 I've created a monster. Because nobody wants to see Marshall no more. They want Shady and chopped liver. Well, if you want Shady, this is what I'll give you. Go visit me, mix with some hot liquor. Well, thank you, Shays. Even though I think there's something to be said for his mosquito-like, high-pitch, purposefully annoying charm back in the Shady era. Did William Randolph Hearst ever see Citizen Kane? Did he die before Citizen Kane came out? I wonder what it would have been like to be him and see a movie that's about you and just be like, shit, I guess I'm an old weirdo, and then die. Ah, this Orson Welles guy has a point. I'm not sure about this design. Could I give it a look-see? If you throw it in Discord, I can take a quick look. I don't have a ton of time. Throw it in whips. Throw it in whips. Throw it in whips. You're not sure about this design? Alright. Can I pull this on stream or no? Can I pull this into chat? Into the stream? Into the Stramu? Ustrimo. Alright, cool. So I think the reason you're not feeling the design is that you've balanced the colors really well, but you haven't balanced the materials. So I'm just going to do a quick pass on this just to show you what I would do. I would probably... I'm going to start off with a maybe. I would maybe add some kind of something from this belt here. There's so much leather up top and there's none down below. Even if it's like leg wraps on the opposite leg or something, just to bring that leather element down and balance it out. Maybe hint that there's like some leg wraps going on over here. I would probably add some kind of bracer over here to balance it out. Doesn't have to be a full thing, just something like that. I would then, the other element that you don't have balanced is the metal up top. Now there's a few ways you could go with the metal. You could do, I don't know if studs, you already have some studs down here. I don't know if studs will be enough. You might need chasing, like on the outsides, or at least on this thing here. Another thing you could do, it needs something here, maybe some kind of breastplate guard or something like this. It needs something to balance out the metal that's in that helmet. I'd probably do something like this and work in some of that carved design that you have up at the top. And have it come up, wrapping it around the collarbone form or something. I'd probably do that. That creates another opportunity for straps. You could have a strap going over the shoulder like that. Yeah, you could do an animal motif or a phoenix motif or something. You could easily design that to be anything that's thematic. I'm not familiar with the culture or the character, but chasing might be a little busy. So what I think I would do instead is maybe just do some here and some, even then. I think what I would do instead is put a plate over this. Just like a really, like, you know, emphasize that this is the primary striking arm, extra defense in case a blade catches it. And then whatever motif you use in the metal over there, you know, you can bring it in over here, give the metal some shape, add some design elements to it. I'd probably do that. For practical, it's a cool design, but it doesn't. It's guarding the top of her head, but it's not guarding the rest of her head. I would maybe. Let's take a look. Like the obvious thing you could do is. Bring this down. Then it's more of a formal helmet. But if you don't want to do that, that's totally fine. That's up to you. If you'd rather have it be on the top as more of a design thing, I would just curve it into her eyes a bit more, because right now the nose guard feels a little like it's just sticking out of a circle. I would maybe just curve it with her face a bit more. so the sides of the metal feel more like eyebrows that are kind of wrapping up and around. Her hair is also static, but the plume is blowing. So maybe like just a little bit of motion. You know, just show that whatever's moving the plume is also moving the hair, kind of thing. Let me see. I would probably add this, but if you'd rather not, to show off her form, this is up to you. I would probably add another belt here. If you'd rather not, that's totally fine. I'd probably add another belt here, and I'd hint that she has scabbards for her swords. And then if you wanted to, you could bring the metal in on the belt. But yeah, just something. Another thing you could do if you wanted to, this is a maybe, is kind of do like a, I think this is Roman. It's either Roman or Greek, when they have the hanging straps of leather. It implies that there's leather padding underneath her, like cuirass. You could do that. But yeah, I would probably do that. You gotta decide where she's drawing the blades from. If she's drawing it from the side, add it down here. If she's drawing it from her back, obviously you can do that kind of thing. But yeah. Yeah, this is probably where I would start. I'd probably add a bit more, just to show some more definition in this. I'd probably add a bit more separation in these, just to really show what's going on. And then I would, yeah, make the leather pronounced. But yeah, this is probably what I would do as a start. There you go. Wow. No, you're good, buddy. Don't worry about it. Don't mind helping out. Yeah, this is super quick, so... Alright. Oh, sure, yeah. Yeah, that's a great design. Super cool character, too. What are my thoughts so far streaming to do more work? It's good for me because I think I have some kind of undiagnosed mental issue. Because I get like, I work all day, but I never get anything done. So like I will, I like what I used to do is I'd like paint for an hour and then I'd be like, oh god, I gotta pay this bill. And then I'd go pay the bill. Then I'd be like, oh god, I gotta mail these Steve books. Then I'd mail the Steve books. Then I'd be like, oh god, I gotta respond to that email. Then I'd respond to the email. Then I'd be like, oh god, I gotta prime this thing for another client. And then I'd go sketch it out. And then the day would be over and I'd get like no painting done. But I wasn't like wasting time. And it was just like, yeah, I don't know. At least with streaming, you guys as an audience prevent me from like, I'm not gonna go do other stuff because I'm live. I have to like, I'm here to paint live. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna go like leave my camera on while I respond to emails and shit. But yeah, my ability to hyper focus is basically, I don't know what's going on. It's just like slowly been going away. I just get like, I don't know if it's some kind of attention issue or if it's some kind of OCD issue. I don't know what it is. But my brain kind of feels like it's full of like buzzing like bees at any given time. And it's super distracting. It's just like hundreds of intrusive thoughts constantly. Do this, do that, reach out to this person, block that person, respond to this email, don't forget this, don't forget that. And then there's just like tons of negative thoughts as well. And I can't like shut it up. So the streaming, the way for me to get into like a good sweet spot for like getting work done is to overload my brain with stimulus. So there's no room for me to start thinking of its own stuff. So like right now, I'm reading chat and I'm painting and I'm listening to music. And that's like enough active software running in my brain that it's not going to start thinking of stuff. Or if it does, the thoughts won't have enough, you know, ground to take off, basically. I'm like overstimulating myself, basically, to force myself to stay on track. But, yeah. So yeah, it's working for me. I should probably be on some kind of medication, but I haven't gone to the doctor yet. The problem I'm having now, the new problem, is balance. I'm having a very hard time balancing my workouts with my work. I'm getting there, but it's, it kind of feels like on days when I work out, all I get done is my workout, and my painting takes a hit. And it feels like on days when I get a lot of painting done, I can't get a good workout. My ability to divide my day into pieces and schedule multiple things and have them feel like I accomplished them is not working yet. And I don't quite know why. I'm not sure. It's healthier than meds unless I have an actual issue that needs meds. I don't have a diagnosis though, so I can't say. But like, if I have some kind of actual disorder that meds could fix, then meds would be the right way to go. But I don't know if I do. I just know that my brain is kind of awful. I mean, I do know that I have some stuff. I've been diagnosed with some mental stuff. But I stopped taking my antidepressants. So Everything in my brain is louder now. The antidepressants kind of made everything quiet, but it also made it almost impossible to get work done because I didn't have any motivation. I wasn't like super anxious on them, but I had no motivation. They made me so relaxed that I didn't like care about doing anything. It was very like complacent, very comfortably numb, you know. It's like, oh yeah, I feel good. And then like after 2 years of that, you're like, I haven't done anything in like 2 years. I haven't felt super bad or super good, which is better than bad. Neutral is better than negative, but at the cost of your productivity, it's, I don't know, it's a weird balance of what you want to get out of the medication. I think on balance, being more productive and feeling worse is probably better for me in the long term, because at least I'm building something that might make me feel better in the future, as opposed to being kind of numb and getting nothing done forever. If I go to the gym for 2 hours, then draw for 5-6 hours, isn't that very productive? It should be, like, on paper, but it just feels like I'm getting nothing done. Like, I feel like this piece should be further along than it is. But maybe that's not true. I don't know. It's hard for me to say. It just feels like on days when I do my big workouts, it feels like I get nothing done that day. It feels like that eats up so much of my time. It's almost like a weird momentum issue. I don't know if anyone else has this, where like, if I'm working, I want to work in like an 8-hour block with no breaks. I feel like I get the most done when I do that. If I take a break and then come back, I feel like I get nothing done. I don't know what it is, but yeah, I don't know what that is. It might just be not true. I might just be wrong. I might be getting a lot done. But I don't know. It just feels like I'm getting nothing done. Yeah, it's weird. I mean, it could just be my imposter syndrome brain. My brain is a bad brain. My brain hates me, and my brain wants to self-sabotage me at every stop. So another part of this is realizing when to listen to my brain and when to realize that my brain is being fucking stupid and trying to self-sabotage me. Because my brain wants me to think that everything's wrong. So it's hard to know when things actually are. Like, I know objectively, this blue one took me like 6 months to do because I couldn't focus on it. I was doing 20 million other things, and it took me like 6 months to do this painting. And I know that we've been working on this one for about a month, a little under a month. So, like, objectively on paper, I know that I'm faster, I'm getting more done, but, like, it still doesn't feel that way. It's very weird. Part of it's gonna have to be me just ignoring my brain and being like, no. It's the same thing with the weight loss. Like, I've lost 70 pounds since October. That's like, 10 pounds a month, but it still feels like I've made no progress, which is stupid. It's very dumb. I have made progress, but I don't feel it. It doesn't feel like I've accomplished anything. So, I don't know. It's just my brain being fucking stupid. On paper, I'm doing very well. I'm getting work done faster. I'm pumping stuff out. I'm losing a ton of weight. I'm hitting my workouts. But maybe it's just the depression. I don't know. I just don't feel it. I don't feel any of it. It's not like registering as a positive thing in my brain. My brain wants to give up on like everything. Every day, my brain is telling me to stop streaming, to delete my social media, to stop painting, to stop going to the gym, and to just kind of die on the vine. Like, pretty constantly. My brain, like, every, like, hour, my brain will throw that in, like, just give up, give up, give up, give up. And it takes a lot of mental energy to, like, just not listen to that. I don't know, it's hard to explain. I'm basically running like an ad blocker in my brain 24/7. But instead of ads, it's negative thoughts. So it's like boop, 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 and I can like see the ad blocker number going up. I would absolutely come to Thailand. Do you know where I can scuba dive there? Do you live near any beaches? Is that a joke? Is it pronounced fuck it? I live in fuck it, the state of mind where I say fuck it. It's probably not. Probably not what you're saying at all, but I like that idea. Phuket, got it. I just like the idea of some boomer guy being like, life was tough till I decided to move to fuck it. I'm James Bond Island. Is it called James Bond Island because they filmed Dr. No there or something? Like where one of the movies like was one of or was like Scaramucci's Island there or whatever? In Gold, Man with the Golden Gun. I'm assuming that's why you'd call it James Bond Island. Like, there's a place in Newport called the Gatsby House, because they filmed a scene from The Great Gatsby there. Yeah, okay, there we go. That's what I assumed. I'll tell you the worst thing about my brain. Maybe this is common. Maybe other people deal with this too. The worst thing about my brain, the worst thing it does that drives me fucking crazy is in the moment, no matter where I am in life, I feel like everything is pointless. everything's awful, nothing's good, everything's doomed, there's no point in any of it, I'm not enjoying it. And then, like, 5 years later, my brain will look back at that moment and be like, man, those were good times. And I'm like, in the moment, I was miserable. And then my brain looks back at it like, I wish we could go back there to those good times. And I'm like, I couldn't even enjoy it. Like, why? Like, number one, I wish I could know when the good times were when I was in them. And number two, I wish my brain would let me enjoy them. I mean, I don't know. I'm happier now than I was in my 20s. But that's mostly because I don't know, I've changed a lot. I wish I had this brain that I have now. I mean, it's the same brain, but I wish I understood the things I understood about myself sooner. I think I would have enjoyed life more, but it took me a very long time to understand what was going on in my head. For a long time, I was chasing all this stuff that I thought was really important, and none of it was important. And I wish I could have come to that realization sooner. It's not even like about the time, it's just about like I wish I understood myself sooner. I feel like a lot of people just know who they are pretty early in life, and they can just like grow and, you know, achieve things that they want to achieve because they know who they are and they know what they want. It took me a very long time to figure any of that out because I was basically trying to be multiple different people, and it's not sustainable. Might not even be possible. Some people can kind of do it, but I don't think it's healthy. I was trying to be too many things for too many people. And I also thought I wanted things I don't actually want. And I spent so much time trying to get them because I thought I was supposed to get them. And it's like, I don't actually want any of that. Why am I doing this? I'm doing some for some people. Nowhere near as bad as it used to be, though. It used to be like fucking wild. So many people. Even during Crimson Daggers, when we first did it, it was like 2 full-time jobs, helping people all the time with everything. And I felt like I had to, and it was really, really frustrating because, like, I wanted to focus on working and getting better at art, but I also felt this weird obligation to help all these other people that were reaching out. So I would like, probably half my week was spent just doing shit for other people. Whether it was paint overs or portfolio reviews or talking to people. I talked to people's parents to convince them to let them pursue their careers. And like, that's all good stuff, but it would have been nice if I didn't feel like I absolutely had to do it. It would have been nice if it felt like more of a choice at the time. But at the time, I was like stressed out of my mind. Like, I can't let any of these people down. Like, in my mind, it was like, if I'm helping one person, I gotta help everyone else who's asking for help. Or it feels like I'm picking favorites and I'm saying that this person deserves it more than this person. And that triggered all this weird childhood stuff where I was like, I can't be like almost like the absentee dad to some people while I'm focusing on other people. It was weird. Very weird, not healthy mindset to be in. I don't recommend it to anybody, but yeah. I would get comments from people that were like, Dan helped this person, but he hasn't responded to my email. Am I doing something wrong? Or like, why are you responding to them and not me? Or like, I've literally been waiting for Dan to get back to me for 2 weeks. And like, that shit, oof. That shit would just take up all my mental space. I would think of like, it was just bad. Gotta watch out for that shit. Anyway, I'm streaming till noon. Another 3.5 hours. Then I have to take a small break to go prime my brand new smoker and put in a few racks of ribs because I'm going to do my first test cook with it tonight. Then after I put that in, I'll come back and I'll start streaming again. Probably around like 1:30. Oh, hey, man. I'm sorry I got back to you so late. Sorry I got that advice to you late. I hope things worked out, though, with whatever the issue was. I also feel bad because, it's hard for me to remember what advice I gave to what people because I've done it so many, like, thousands of times. It all starts to kind of blend together. It's okay, buddy. I'm trying very hard lately to be more selfish, which sounds like a bad thing, but it isn't. It's a healthy thing. It's true. If you do work for other people, you destroy their ability to grow. If someone's truly lost, I think pointing them in the right direction is okay. But if you're like doing paint overs for everything in their portfolio, you should probably stop. But yeah, I totally agree with that idea that helping someone too much destroys their ability to learn anything. Because, like, being shown something is a form of learning, but it's not as good a form of learning as fucking up on your own and figuring your way out. It's like, if I'm living in the woods for a year and I'm lost, I'm going to understand those woods better by the end of that year than somebody who shows up that same day with a map. I'm going to know things about it they're not going to know, you know? I'm going to understand it on a fundamental level that they're never going to get from an aerial view. That's why I love the movie Jaws. It's a really good argument for the benefits of, like, there's the bootstraps mentality guy with Quint, and he's like, hey, like, very, like, I've been through the shit, and I know what I'm talking about from experience. But then there's also the respect for, like, the book learning, you know, guy that Richard Dreyfuss plays, who's like, well, I understand the technical realities of this from an aerial view. I may not have the experience, but I've got the book learning. And it's a really cool negotiation between those two mindsets. The downfalls of both. Like, there's downfalls to both characters and there's strengths to both characters. And they achieve the most when they work together, basically, when you combine both things. The hands-on and the, you know, the more academic. Like, I don't know, the best, my father's company when I was a kid, there was a lot of high school dropout, blue-collar guys that were there, and they did awesome work. They were the best workers. They didn't have degrees, but they understood the work more than anybody because they'd been doing it for years, and that's all they did, and they learned from experience. But there were things that they could never understand, certain safety risks and chemical issues that other people at the company had to be on site for. They would, you know, those guys, the guys who with no formal training, who just did the work for 20 years and were like experts and from experience, they would do the best work. But without someone on site who had the book learning, they probably all would have died numerous times because the person on site with the book learning knew risks to look out for that were fatal that none of them knew to look out for. So, like, you kind of want to combine the two. If you had your current skills but had to start from scratch, had zero networks or anything and wanted to make money with your art ASAP, what path would you take to accomplish that? Fan art, baby. Quickest path to money is to attach yourself to something that already makes money. If I had no network, I'd be pumping out that fan art. Ooh, I'd be pumping it out. Yeah. I gotta rewatch Crouching Tiger. It's been a while. yeah. The quickest way to build a following is to attach yourself to things that already have followings. So if I had my current skill set and no network, the quickest way to make money would be to get seen. And the quickest way to get seen would be to attach myself to things that are already popular. Not safe for work fan art's great. That's the Sakimi-chan method. If you can make people horny enough for your work that they pay money to see the censors removed, you're set for life. If you can draw well enough that people are sexually attracted to your artwork, and then you put a censor on the parts they want to see, if you're good enough at drawing it, they will pay money to have those censors removed. That's Sakimi-chan's whole business model. Yeah, if you want to go that route and do porn, I don't think there's any shame in that. You should do it. That's what the Ghost in the Shell guy did. It's true. Dave didn't get massive until he did his Ninja Turtles fan art. I know you're joking about the Garfield, but really, the Ninja Turtles portraits are what made Dave a big name. He was doing freelance before that, and he had work, but the Ninja Turtle stuff was what got him all of the big jobs. That's when he started getting, like, movie work and shit. Alright, time to cover this helmet with little details. Been avoiding it, but now the time has come. There's this thing here. This isn't going to be super accurate. It's going to be small enough on the canvas that it doesn't need to be. Fuck it. Fuck it, guys. I'm making an executive decision that this is going to be so small on the canvas, it only needs to be kind of accurate with the details, okay? As long as it looks vaguely floral, it will be fine. Alright? I mean, it's good money to be an NSFW artist, but you will have a stigma for the rest of your life. People won't take you as seriously, and companies, big companies, won't work with you. So, you're going to get a lot of horny people that want to pay for your art, but you're never going to get, like, big corporate gigs. And you're probably never going to get studio gigs. So, just keep that in mind. You will have a stigma. Again, I'm very Western-brained. Maybe this isn't the case in other countries. But at least in America, and I believe most of Europe, maybe I'm wrong. I think definitely in Britain and maybe not in France. France might be more liberal with it. But definitely I think in America and England, if you're an NSFW artist, I don't think you're going to get too many corporate gigs because they're not going to want to associate with that. Unless you're like doing ads for, I want to say like Acerel did ads for like rabbit vibrators. But yeah. I guess I'll say, I think I can say with pretty much certainty that in most countries that identify as Christian or Muslim, you probably aren't going to have a good time looking for a regular job if you do NSFW. That's going to be my broad strokes guess, is that if a country is more like puritanical, you're probably going to have a stigma attached to you in public spaces if you do that. In America, even though we've come a long way, we're still pretty fucking puritanical. Do you think they'd care if they found some NSFW alt account after some Googling if you advertise your main account, but not the other way around? Let's say that my portfolio got me hired at Hasbro. Okay, I'll just use an example. Like, I worked at Hasbro, or for a Hasbro subsidiary on the Transformers movies. If they found out that I secretly had done a ton of porn art, if they found out that I was doing a ton of that with an alt, they could fire me for that. The most common way I would get fired, though, is that the art community is very cliquey, and artists have a lot of fans and anti-fans. Like, there's people who love Dave, and there's people who fucking hate Dave. And it's not because of anything Dave's done. It's just some people get jealous and weird, or people are trolls, or just people are fucking crazy. People don't like that he's married, and yeah, just crazy shit. All it would take, at least in America, is one phone call to the studio you're working at that goes, "Why are you hiring this person? Don't you know that they do this kind of, pornographic art? Is this what your company Hasbro stands for? Aren't you a kids' toy creator? Why is a kids' toy creator hiring someone who does porn? Do you think kids should see porn?" Like, all it takes is one troll who's dedicated enough, and you would lose your career. You would lose your job. Because the social pressure for the company, they're not going to want to deal with a potential article being written about, this publisher hires pornographer. Like, they're not going to want to deal with that. Now, the mitigating factors of this are, you'd have to be a big enough artist that anybody would give a shit. And the company would have to be a big enough company that anybody gives a shit. But you absolutely could lose your job over that, because they don't want to be seen as defending that kind of thing or promoting that kind of thing. And at least in America, giving somebody a paycheck is co-signing their behavior typically. That's why most contracts have character clauses. And if you violate your character clause or your morality clause, you can get fucked over. But yeah, most contracts for employment have a character clause. This protects the company from, let's say, I don't know. Let's say that I was working for Gucci doing art like James Jean did. And then one day on Twitter, I decided to go on an anti-Semitic rant. Yes, in America, that's my freedom of speech to do that, but my contract with Gucci is going to have a character clause and a morality clause in it that says if I do anything wild online that's seen as, you know, hateful or brings bad light on the company, they can fire me for that. So you got to watch out, because porn falls squarely into that category for a lot of people. Yeah, the Milo Manara thing was pretty vanilla. Like, you could see some fucking, you could see a little bit of latex covered pussy, and it was like, destroy Milo Manara, destroy Marvel, fire everybody. Didn't someone who was working on the new X-Men get fired for having an OnlyFans? I don't know, but that wouldn't surprise me at all because it's Disney. If you're an artist working at Disney and you have an OnlyFans, you're probably going to get fired, especially if you're working on a cartoon. That's absolutely going to be a violation of your character and fitness in the contract because it's Disney. The last thing Disney wants, because Disney's, you know, they're a target politically for a lot of people. The last thing they're going to want is an article saying, you know, children's animator Disney is hiring pornographers for a new cartoon being broadcast to kids. Like, yeah. But yeah, so anyway, porn makes a lot of money, but it will put a scarlet letter on you. So if you want to work for big corporations, either don't do it or be very careful. Yep. Having an OnlyFans is definitely enough for you to get fired by most companies. Whether or not you think that's fair, that's just how it is. I'm saying character and fitness, but I'm trying to remember if it's got a few different names. It's usually a character clause or a fitness clause, or like some people call them morality clauses. I don't know. They've got different names depending on what field you're in, but they're all basically the same thing. It's a don't embarrass us clause. Don't make yourself a liability clause. It's essentially what it is. I don't know anything about the X-Men drama, if that's the case. with the Milo Manara stuff, that was also during the absolute height of the SJW 2016 cancel everything stuff. That was like Gamergate. That was like all that shit was happening at the same time. That was like peak cancellation. We're not in peak cancellation anymore. We've thankfully evolved past that a little bit. People still get, not like it was back then though. People still get canceled, but holy shit, was that a wild time to be alive.